Hi, good morning. Happy Motivational Monday. I'm Jessica Boss here. I am talking about disappointments today. Have you ever expected something to go your way and when it didn't, it left you feeling hopeless? That's disappointment. I'm sorry to say, but disappointment is inevitable. As long as we have expectations that can't be fulfilled, disappointment is bound to follow. One very important thing to know about disappointment is that it can actually be your ally if you know how to use it well. I once heard a very wise person say, disappointments were not meant to destroy you. They're meant to strengthen you and give you fortitude to accomplish your God-given destiny. The problems we face in life actually grows us. And when we face disappointment, that actually gives us the strength to push forward past our problems. Knowing this truth can be a very good first step, but if one only intellectually understands it, it can become a sounding board or a good sounding mantra that we rely on and that we speak. But then the minute that disappointment hits, it all falls apart. I know because I've been there many times. So the next time that failure happens and you're finding yourself feeling hopeless and disappointed, get quiet and ask for the whole point of the issue to be revealed to you. And hopefully over time, you are able to gain perspective on the whole matter. And I know for a fact for myself, I'm able to better assess the things that I put my time towards. And it helps me re-strategize and refocus my energy toward the things that will move me forward rather than the actual failure itself that will destroy you if you allow it to. And you don't have to deny when you feel disappointed and pretend that you feel great and amazing all the time. Sometimes it's okay to say, I don't feel well today. The thing though is you don't want to stay in that feeling. You can acknowledge it and then you want to move on as quickly as possible, because it's in the staying in it that keeps you dwelling over it. But when you're able to just say, hey, yeah, I'm not feeling the best today, that loses the power of that feeling, and it helps you to then regain a perspective to say, well, what can I do to make myself get out of this funk? How can I propel myself forward? And it starts to turn your thoughts into powerful thoughts where you're seeking solution rather than dwelling on the problem. Because dwelling on the problem is only going to keep reinforcing that bad, awful feeling. But the minute you deny it and just say, yep, I'm feeling this way, but I refuse to stay this way, there's power in that. That's when you're going to propel yourself forward into new ideas, into new goals, into new intentions, into new purpose, into a new destiny. But it's important that we actively look to find new perspectives, to find the silver lining or the positive thing rather than the negative thing. And if after you keep refocusing and re-energizing and you still don't find the answers that you're looking for and you're still finding that you're feeling disappointed and hopeless, sometimes that's a good reason to trust that something better is on its way. Sometimes things don't happen because if it did, we wouldn't be able to enter something that would be even greater for us. Sometimes we're hidden so that we don't burn all of our bridges or waste all of our good resources on the things that aren't going to move us forward. Sometimes we are hidden so that we can recognize that once we get into that purpose mode and that destiny level, that those resources that we have are used for those things and not for things that don't move us forward in life. All in all, it's important to realize that even when we get disappointed in life and things don't go our way, sometimes it's for the better. Sometimes something more amazing is coming along. So breathe and recognize that disappointment doesn't have to be a deterrent. It can actually lead you into destiny. And hey, don't beat yourself up if you realize that you were disappointed and you just encounter this, or it keeps happening over and over again and you forget the lesson, because we're all human. It's a lifelong journey. Sometimes it takes us starting from zero over and over again for us to recognize the, oh, now I get it moment, where we can then say, I see this game, I know what this is, and I'm going to put a pin in it and stop it before I go down that vicious cycle. Trust me when I say it's happened to me many times, more than I'd like to admit. And it really doesn't matter how many times you fail. If you're getting the same lessons over and over and over again, that means you're having more experience to grow from that particular problem or issue. It's kind of like if a teacher gave you the same test every week in a school year. And let's say you failed it the first time, you failed it the second time, you failed it the fifth, sixth, seventh time. But over time, you start to learn more about the subject. You start to study. You begin to remember the same questions that are asked on the test, and then you learn those. Then after a while, by the end of the year, you're going to pass that test with flying colors. Isn't that kind of how life sounds like? You know, we're given the same problems over and over again. We get disappointed, we feel hopeless, like failures. But then something happens where we start to recognize that pattern. We start to see that I've been through this before. And the more you go through it, the better able you are to learn and say, okay, I know what this is. And you actually start to find yourself growing and getting better and stronger because of it. And one day you wake up and you're on the other side of that issue. That's how it is. You start to gain a new perspective, and it teaches you to start to think differently. And that's how you allow disappointment to be destroyed. And that's all possible when we allow disappointment to strengthen us rather than to destroy us. There's a quote that I love from Abraham Maslow. You will either step forward into growth or step backwards into safety. Peace, joy, and prosperity to y'all. Happy Motivational Monday. This is Jessica Boss, helping you be the boss in your life. And if you like this video and want more, please like, subscribe, share, and be sure to comment below. I'd like to see if there is one thing that you'd like to do today to help move past your disappointments and into your destiny and your purposes. So y'all take care. Have an amazing day. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love y'all.